are we about to see, Shahar?
All right, so this is called the mock-up. By the way, it's gonna get renovated in the next month, so we're probably the last guys. This is like the
This is awesome.
business class mock-up, and this is where they do all the training. And we're gonna renovate all of it. This is old planes, so we're gonna change the 787, etc.
You guys met Shahar a few weeks back. It was a little bit of a different scene last time we met. We were on the streets of Tel Aviv and a big FU sign behind our head. See that?
Yes, I remember.
It's like, oh God, I didn't notice it at all. But anyway, all right, so let's just give a little background here. Who are you, first of all?
So my name is Shahar Markovitch. I'm the Chief Information Officer and Chief Digital Officer for El Al Airlines.
Okay.
I joined 3 months ago.
Before that?
Before that, I was Chief Digital Officer for Bank Hapoalim, which is Israel's largest bank.
Right.
And before that, I was a partner in McKinsey & Company, responsible for digital transformation. So working with companies all over the world on anything from product launch to strategy to how the IT should work and support digital transformation.
So you guys might be thinking, why are you guys so close to your face? Let me show you why we're so close, where we're sitting right now. We're sitting in a mock-up plane here in El Al. So here's the thing. First of all, I mean, you've done some incredible things in your career. We talked about it last time. We're not going to get into that now, but why am I bringing that up? Because El Al is, a phenomenal company for a whole bunch of reasons. You have a very important job right now. You are leading a digital transformation. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay, and I know that you probably won't say this because you're very modest, but they brought you for a reason. Because if anyone can do it, you can do it. And again, hard job, but I on social when we met last time and people that talk to me about, I say, yeah, there's challenges, but if anybody can do it, Shahar can do it.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan, and not only because you take good care of me, irrelevant of that, or maybe it's because you take good care of me because I'm a big fan. I don't know, but anyway, more importantly, what is this place? What is going on here? Talk to me.
Let me actually tell you a little bit, why I'm excited about the travel industry and
a little
bit about my role.
Yes.
So I came from banking, and before that, I did a little bit of high tech, public sector. What really amazes me is that the travel industry and an airline is a crazy industry, it's a crazy business, unbelievably complex, and technology is vital every step of the way. Right? So let's start with the flight. A modern plane is technology-wise is more complex than a data center of a small bank.
Hold that thought. I want to try something. Experiment here. See, the cool thing with it, look at that. This is a very cool thing about this tripod, the Gorilla Pod.
Airline is a super exciting business where technology is key in every part of the way, and it's extremely complex. So, imagine an airplane. An airplane, technology-wise, is more complex than the data center of a small bank. A modern airplane that flies generates between half a tera to 1 tera of data every flight.
Wow, that's just to be, if you're not familiar with a terabyte, that's 1,000 gigabytes, which is 1,000 megabytes.
That's just one flight, right?
Think about every picture, just to give you context, every picture you take on your phone, 3, 4, 10 megabytes, we're talking about like a high-end camera, and times that. So 1,000 megabytes is 1 gig, 1,000 gigabytes is 1 terabyte.
And that's just
incredible.
one flight.
One flight.
Imagine what it takes to make a flight run smoothly, right? It's all the operations, and the content on the plane. In modern airplanes, you have Wi-Fi. Think about the challenges around Wi-Fi, around cyber, right? Cyber security of a plane. So these days, there's a lot more money invested in cyber security of cars than cyber security of planes. Right? Massive challenge. What do you do with all the data? How do you create amazing experience during the flight? What happens, when there are weather changes, etc. Just the flight. Let's go a step before that. Preparing a flight. Preparing a flight is a massive operational challenge. On one hand, you have huge logistical channels of, preparing all the food for all the customers based on all the preferences. All the dry goods that coming into the plane. All the personnel that you have to kind of schedule. People flying in from Bangkok, people flying in from New York, need to go on a plane to Boston. Huge, massive.
Can't even think about it.
Yeah, the plane lands. You have, 1 hour to 2 hours to clean it up. And I don't know if you've seen a plane after Israel has flown it.
I think most people are messy.
So it's like you have to clean it up, you have to prepare it, you have to fuel it up, you have to check all the maintenance of the plane, get it ready on time, and then bring all the food, all the stuff on the plane, all together, all the passengers, all the baggage, and take off. Right? Imagine massive technology challenge.
And here's the thing: despite everything you just said, despite the complexity, what's interesting, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm sure you do feel this, is that there is almost no tolerance for mistake as far far as consumers are concerned. You go to the movies and there's a little mess up, you get over it. On a plane, everyone acts like they are the most entitled, and I see it all the time, and it's actually pretty disgusting. As a consumer, it bothers me. It's like, these people are, anyway, it's a topic for another time, but there's zero tolerance for error, zero tolerance for mistake, and all the millions of things that have to happen on a flight, if the airline makes one little tiny mistake, everyone goes nuts.
You touched on a critical point, right. Why, airlines is so exciting and travel is so exciting, right?
Right.
On one hand, travel and the whole experience economy and the idea of people exploring the world and smaller planet, one of the fastest growing industries. On the other hand, it's one of the industries with the lowest return on equity, because in essence, it's such a massive and complex business to run, right?
Yep.
But it's also a commodity, because you go online, you can see a million different companies, all the prices are completely transparent,
right.
Huge price pressure, so there's a massive disconnect, right, around what's necessary to take a flight and bring in the airline, making sure everything is flawless, right? With zero tolerance.
Yep.
The complexity versus the fact that you as a consumer expect to pay as little as possible.
100%.
Right.
Although I'm going to now say I'm going to push back on that a little bit. I agree with everything you're saying, of course. By the way, let me try to shift this again. I will say though, as a consumer, and I always say when people talk to me about marketing, they say, I'm an enterprise company. I'm not going to do Twitter. People don't realize that every CIO, every CTO, they're also a consumer, right? Everybody's a consumer. So you you're Chief Digital and Information Officer of Elal. Did I get that right?
Yes.
But you're also a consumer. And I will say that I think, well, yes, there is a commodity aspect to it. I think today, people actually do view their airline with a little more sentiment. It's less of people feel a lot of emotion about airlines, negative or positive.
Yes.
And if you turn your airline into something that people feel positively about, there's incredible amount of loyalty when it comes to flight. I think. I don't know, but that's what my instinct tells me.
You're absolutely right. The El Al brand is one of the most recognized brands in Israel. Mm-hmm. And it's a brand that every customer you speak with
has an
opinion about it.
Yeah.
Positive or negative.
Correct.
It's a flag airline.
Yeah.
So, you have the Israeli flag on the plane.
Right.
There's a deep emotional connection with 100%. Being Israeli, what it all means. Yep. During times of conflict, El Al is the only company that actually flies to and from Israel. It's a very homey airline, right? הכי בבית בעולם, home away from home, something that really embodies the brand.
100%.
Right? Where we're sitting here, this is the training area of flight attendants, and one of the things that we look for in flight attendants is the ability to make you feel at home, right?
I wanted to say one thing, and I'm sure as you've seen and as I've seen, I'm sure we're going to get some pushback, some feedback, not so some negative, some positive, I'm sure, on this video, and then just in general, we take selfies, whatever, doesn't matter. I'll just say one thing. From my perspective, you guys can disagree, you can agree, whatever it is. I fly a lot. And yeah, sometimes I'll fly other airlines, but at the end of the day, I often say to my family, to my friends, I fly a lot. First of all, let's just start with the kosher food. For me, like, it's a no-brainer. You get kosher food. It's like on United, it's like the biggest mess. Now, that aside, at the end of the day, given the cultural issues, and again, I'm being careful here with what I say, being the Israeliness, which comes with good and bad. End of the day, I like flying El Al because I like you just said, feeling at home, feeling like I can relate to the crew, and they can relate to me. And to me, despite the fact, the shortcomings, no one's perfect, and we got to work on the Wi-Fi, please God. But
we're working on it.
Thank you.
Gonna launch it soon.
I'm excited about that. Well, I now there's like a pilot. They told me, yeah, that's right. So anyway, pilot, well played. But anyway, point is, at the end of the day, I'm just saying right now, we're just good friends. Like, he's not paying me to say this. I genuinely like flying a lot better than other airlines because of that homey feeling. I'm just gonna get that out there right there, and put that out of the way. Please continue. Yes.
It's also one of the safest airlines in the world.
Yeah.
In terms of actual security, security people, defense, etc. But we were talking about the complexities, the technology complexities that I have to face as a CIO and CDO of El Al, right? So we talked about the plane, we talked about preparing the plane. Still talking about the plane, maintenance-wise, so all the parts and engines, and something gets wrong, and how you manage that. It's multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars of an airplane that you have to work all the time. You have to utilize it as much as you can. There's a huge operation around making sure that you get maximum utilization of the plane. So if there's a part that breaks, you take it back, you fix it. Every few months, you take the entire plane, you break it apart. It's called check C.
Wow.
One time I'll bring you to our hangars to take a picture of that. You take the entire plane apart, you take out the chairs, everything, you check every piece of the plane, and you build it again.
It's incredible.
Every few months.
Wow.
So that's just flying the plane. Okay. Now let's talk about digital, right? Despite the fact that there's tons of room for improvement in El Al's digital channel on the website, it's still one of the largest, if not the largest, e-commerce website in Israel. We have sales of over 1 billion shekel.
Wow.
Right? So imagine what we could do if it would be a great website. It's again very, very complex in terms of e-commerce, right? Because every flight you have to fight for the customer again. Every flight the customer will go to Google or to Skyscanner, and we'll search for the cheapest flight, and we'll go to whatever site that's offering the best price, the best experience, the best marketing. So there's a massive effort around the digital marketing side of how do we convince customers, how do we create extra value for customers to go to El Al website, how do we create the best experience for El Al to do it.
So interesting. It's so interesting because if you think about it, really, it's actually a very unique dynamic because most of the time, if something's a commodity, people don't feel strongly about it. No one cares about their ruler.
Yeah.
The ruler is a commodity. Who cares? It's a utility. It's there. I use it when I need it, and I'll throw it away, and I don't even care. I have no emotion about a utility or about a commodity. And yet, what you're describing just now, you were just describing, I'll just take the cheapest because it's a commodity. And yet, people have such strong emotion about airlines in general, about El Al specifically. To me, and again, as a marketing guy, I can't help it. To me, that actually there's a big equal sign. That equals tremendous opportunity.
There's tremendous opportunity.
Because people are very emotional about El Al. You need to harness that emotion to your benefit and turn this thing into, at the end of the day, like you go into an electronics store, they're saying, I can't compete with eBay or Amazon. I'm not even going to try. Right? So what's the answer? You're right, you can't. But you can compete on other things. Customer service, communication, caring, showing people that you give a crap. So if that, I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general, right? When one has a commodity and they can't compete on price, they can compete on other things. And so that's why people still go into stores today. Why doesn't everyone buy everything online? Why do people go into stores? Because you want a person. You want someone who cares. So I feel like, again, your job, and I'm not jealous of it, but the good news is that you have all the raw ingredients to take all that emotion and harness it and kind of leverage it to your benefit and build an amazing product, a superior digital experience that people are going to use El Al, not because it's, $50 cheaper, because it won't be $50 cheaper. It'll never be $50 cheaper than some, whatever marketplace that you buy. But you will. Okay. Well, challenge accepted. If that happens, that's...
I'll explain the airline pricing.
But in customer service, you can win. Anyway, go on, yeah.
We do win, by the way. For every bad customer service story that you hear on the web, I get 10 amazing customer service stories.
I've had amazing stories in the last 3 weeks with customer service. They've been amazing to me. And I know some people in high places, but still, I've had phenomenal experiences with El Al crew. But anyway, I keep cutting you off. Sorry.
What you said is, again, spot on. One of the major strategic priorities for the new CEO is customer experience. Now, customer experience in an airline is a lot of things, right? It's starting from the planes.
Customer journey.
The customer experience throughout your customer journey. So even when you're thinking about your travel, all the way through buying the flight, going to the flight and spending time on your holiday or business trip.
Yep.
That's the customer journey.
Right.
Our strategic priority is to improve the customer experience throughout the entire customer journey, right? And that has a lot of components in it.
Right.
One of them is improving the planes, right? So we're buying new 787. We're going to make a massive step up in the quality of our planes, and that has a huge implication on you go out of the plane and you feel more refreshed, and it's a better experience.
Yeah.
There's element of experience around the food and the service, and there's a lot of elements of experience where digital, and this is my mission, plays a massive role, right? The experience you get on booking your flight, smart notification before you go into the actual boarding, check-in and boarding.
Right.
There's a term in the travel industry called customer anxiety, right? If you think about, let's say, Disney, right? When you go to Disney, their goal on customer experience is to create customer delight, to wow you.
Love that word.
Etc. Right?
Yeah.
And we want to get there, but before we can get to customer delight, we have to help people with their travel anxiety. Because imagine, you're standing in the security line in the airport, and you're like looking at your watch, and oh my God, I have 2 more hours to plan. Am I going to make it? You're stuck in traffic.
Shabbat.
The flight is getting delayed.
Yeah.
Am I going to make Shabbat or not? Am I going to make my connection? There's a lot of travel anxiety
100%.
Involved in the customer journey.
Yeah.
And the first step before I can delight my customers to reduce the customer anxiety.
Right.
And digital is going to play a massive role in that in the next couple of years. So, what happens when you have disruptions? If there are changes in the plane, sometimes it could be due to operational reasons, sometimes it could be due to weather,
right.
Sometimes it could be to customers or passengers being late to the flight. I want to be able to notify you automatically about, any changes in the flight. I want to be able to automatically either put you on a different flight or, give you money to buy more food, etc. So manage your experience
Unbelievable.
during a disruption.
Unbelievable.
Right?
I think I think if we kind of summed up everything you just said is the amount that goes into this thing called flight. We as consumers maybe don't think about
massive.
it, but it's incredible.
It's around everything that goes into pricing for an airline. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay,
because
pricing.
There's also, I want to also put a plug to startups and tech companies out there, right?
Definitely.
Because we're opening up El Al now, and we want to encourage tech companies and startup to work with us to improve our customer experience, to help us become more efficient, etc. We've launched a new innovation fund which is called Cockpit. I'm on the board of.
Love it.
So we really want to work with startups. So one less area where it's critical for us and we're spending a lot of time on is pricing. Right? So what people also don't understand is about how you price an airline ticket.
Right.
That's something that has to do a lot with economic theory and a lot with game theory.
Okay.
Because imagine that you have basically fixed seats, right? Like fixed capacity.
Right.
So your goal with that fixed capacity is to maximize the revenue. So if a customer is willing to pay more, for example, if you're a business customer,
Right.
you'll be willing to pay, even for a coach seat, right? You're willing to pay much more than someone who's flying their entire family to Paris, right? How do I understand that the specific person, is a business customer versus a family customer, right? And how do I do that in an environment where all the price is completely public? So I know exactly what planes and what flights my competitors have, what are their prices. Everything's completely public. So there's a bit of game theory here around if I raise my price, if I'm $50 more than my competitor, how many more seats can I sell versus I'm $50 less? So if I lower my price, I'm going to sell more tickets but lower my profit. So is that the right move, or should I raise my price, sell less tickets, and make more? So there's like
Incredible.
dozens of analysts, right? There's dozens of analysts in the company that focus on how to optimize that. So people literally learn, like Tel Aviv to London route. People learn it by heart in order to be able to do price optimization, right?
Incredible.
And obviously, this is an area that's ripe for machine learning, AI. Amazing push.
Okay, so
I want to say one thing. So if you think about the things that I'm focused on, right, where I would love to get startups involved and helping us, it's kind of 4 priorities.
Okay, listen carefully, folks.
All right, first one is around kind of what can we do with data? What can we do more with data? Data 360, understanding the customer better, understanding the plane better, understanding the service better. The second is around how can we use the data to make better decisions? Better decisions allow you as a customer to create a better experience for you in disruptions, better decisions around pricing, better decisions around when am I going to buy a part of the plane? Should I use just in time, buy it in advance because it's cheaper, because every part of a plane could be $100,000.
Wow.
So that's the second priority, how to make better decisions. Machine learning, advanced analytics. Third priority for us is everything around the end-to-end processes and managing of all the logistics and all the process. Anything that could do it better and smarter would significantly help us, fly on time, reduce the disruption, etc. And the fourth one is everything I talked about, kind of the digital channel and experience, where we're putting a lot of focus to, in the next year, we're going to do a significant jump in our mobile app, a significant jump in our website. Unfortunately, it's going to take a bit of time because we have to replace the entire engine underneath the website.
Do it right also.
Exactly. So it's not something I can do in 3 months.
Of course.
But any startup that can offer added value around creating better digital experience, better customer experience, is something we'll significantly consider very seriously.
Okay, so if someone is watching this, startups watching this, and what you just said resonated with them, they feel they have a solution that maybe might be able to help you in any of those areas or more than one of those areas, what is the best place to learn more and to contact El Al?
Go to Cockpit's website. It's www.cockpitinnovation.com.
Cockpitinnovation.com.
Perfect.
Love it. All right, Shahar, listen. Goes without saying, I'm going to say it anyway, but it goes without saying, anything I can do to help. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of yours. Big fan of the.
I'm a big fan of yours. So
oh, stop it! Listen. This is like when I tweeted last time, and when people started saying stupid things, it hurt. Like I was like, forget that. I didn't want to give
stupid.
you.
If a customer says that,
right.
It's not stupid.
I stand corrected.
Philosophy.
I love it.
You see, every customer that replied to you on Twitter, I replied to them. I said, I want to hear from you.
It's amazing.
I sent people from my team to talk. Every
love
customer feedback. That's the way you get better.
Last time we
have to get better.
We took a selfie, and I tweeted it, and we got bombarded with people who were not very happy, and Shahar answered every single. This is the guy who's Chief Innovation and Information and Digital Officer of El Al. He answered every single tweet personally. It was unbelievable. But I believe
if someone tweets, that means they care.
I agree.
If they care enough to give me their feedback,
100%.
I want to talk to them and hear their feedback.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm just going to say again, anything I can do to help in any way.
Perfect.
Honestly, like it would be a privilege of mine. So we'll talk about it offline, but just keep that in mind. Anything I can do to help, you're going to let me know.
Awesome.
Thank you for this time today. I'm having a great time. This is a super cool place. So this place is going. That's it. It's done here.
They're going to renovate it.
They're going to renovate. All right. Thanks, Shahar.
Cheers.
That guy is a whole different level of awesome. He has probably the hardest job on the planet, honestly, and I have 100% confidence that he's going to execute on that job. Super duper talented guy, super humble, once again, and he's just like working his butt off to fix the digital experience and the brand of LL. It's incredible to watch. Anyway, I think Shahar's bringing me now to another kind of demo plane on a different floor. He says it's a really cool place. He's giving me some seriously VIP treatment today. I'm having the best time. It's like a kid in a candy store. But generally speaking, yeah, I'm just really a big fan of the guy. And like I said before, I meant it. With all the shortcomings of every airline, but specifically of LL, I still enjoy flying LL. And I really do. I fly it all the time, more than other airlines. Whether it's the kosher food or the home kind of treatment that I get, I don't know, I just enjoy it. But yeah, he has a lot of work to do. There's no question about that. I just felt so bad last time I met him. The amount of tweets that he got kind of complaining on Twitter. Felt so bad for the guy, but he answered every single one of them. It was incredible to watch. All right, now we're going to this other demo plane.
This is where flight attendants train on emergency exits and slides. So you see have here a model of every plane that we have. So 777, 787, 747. And this is like the emergency door, how it opens. You know, the slide, so you have an inflatable slide here that they try it out. So it's actually mandatory training for every flight attendant. This is where they do emergency training, etc. So you actually try.
Wow.
It's
the whole thing.
Yeah. So then, you know, you open the door and there's a slide. So this is our ops center. Every flight, 72 hours before the flight, it moves into the control of the ops center. So they're responsible. Remember when I told you about you need to make sure you got all the fuel and logistics and food and passengers and flight schedules and weather patterns and what's, you know, what altitude you're going to fly and where's the, you know, how you're going to manage the flight. It moves into here and these guys do it. So they have systems that help them plan the flight. Like what altitude you're going to go, where are the weather patterns that you need to avoid, how much fuel you should carry.
Right.
And there's like live coverage of the flight, and they track a flight, you know, in real time up before the flight itself, and then all the way through to kind of help the pilot manage it. And we have real time feedback of where all the planes are in the world.
Incredible. Incredible. What plane is this?
So this is our brand new 787.
Okay.
You can recognize 787. There's two signs. One is the wings are a bit curved.
Okay.
Because they're made out of a composite material that's a bit flexible, so they actually flex during the flight.
That's awesome.
And two, you can see the teeth at the back of the engine that help improve the jet engine.
Super awesome. Super awesome. Dreamliner, baby. Love it. So what are we looking at
here?
Like
one of the employees in the digital and IT division built like a museum of all techware. So everything that we thrown out. So you have your like a tape unit from 1970s.
Wow.
And
that is so cool.
More, like a laptop from 1990s.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
So
wow. Serious. Look at this. Oh my Lord. Look at that. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Seed storage deck from 2000. Like it.
Yes,
this is a mainframe.
It's unbelievable. All right, Shahar, thank you so much for your time, man.
Pleasure.
Sorry that I'm sweating like crazy.
No worries, it's very hot.
This was a lot of fun, and goes without saying, anything I do to help.
No worries. Thank you, man.
Let's do it, man. Thanks again.
Stay in touch.
Remember I told you yesterday I'd have a couple of surprises today? We had a couple more than a couple. That was super geeky. What's up, dude? Now, heading home. Heading to Jerusalem tonight for dinner and the light show in the Old City. But I'm going to call it a day. See you next week. Going to Zurich next week. See you then.